Interesting over here. I hope you guys are ready for an eventful rest of the week. We have a lot to talk about in this stream here as we get into the FOMC day tomorrow. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be going on that you guys all need to be aware of here. Really just outlining the risks involved with taking on any crazy short-term positions going into the end of this week. There are a lot of moving parts here, guys, even though, again, those of you guys in the group here are seeing that there are, there are 5, A-plus, really high-quality setups that we're looking at right now. You got to be extremely careful because not only are we always looking for high quality setups, but we're also looking for high quality conditions in the market to be putting risk on into. So, guys, before we get into everything over here, it is that time of day again. Say good morning to somebody in the live chat. If you guys would like to say good morning to me, love to receive some good mornings over here. If you guys are new to the channel, new to the group, new to the stream, anything, let me know. I'd love to welcome you guys in here. Let's do a little bit of a roll call here, guys. Get everybody in here, see who we have, and as always, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys are hitting that like button on the way in. Costs you nothing to do it, helps me out a whole lot spreading these streams out. You guys absolutely crushed it yesterday. Thank you guys, I appreciate you. But let's see who we have so far. Actually, hold on, let's actually go through some of the data here while you guys are filtering in. So this morning, we did get retail sales data. If you guys have been paying attention to a lot of the YouTube videos, we have been tracking retail sales. Consumer sentiment, again, has bottomed. We did see that shift back to the upside in sentiment. And again, what we were looking for this week is to see if that shift back to the upside in sentiment was also going to be followed up with a rise in retail sales. And that's not what we saw. Retail sales missed to the downside. And honestly, quite surprisingly, we did see a little bit lower expectations for rate cuts, I believe. So again, we do have the FOMC meeting coming up tomorrow. I made a video about this kind of on Saturday. The video yesterday about this was really mainly about just kind of outlining everything for you guys so that you can understand just the risks involved this week. This is not a normal week. This is a very strange week, in my opinion here, that everybody needs to understand these risks. Again, one of them is oil. And obviously this new wild card with these tensions escalating in the Middle East here. Maybe US gets involved, maybe not. There's another thing that I want to talk about with you guys too with this US involvement that is going to really be a determining factor on the market's outlook for economic growth going over the next 3 years. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. The one thing that everybody needs to understand is that Powell in the Federal Reserve has had a very cautious and almost hawkish tone throughout the entirety of 2025 so far. The main thing that they have cited is that they think that this new trade policy is going to lead to higher prices in the United States in the short term. Okay, so that's their expectation, and we have not seen that play out. Now, recently, we did see CPI slowly kind of move back to the upside here, but we haven't really seen a big shift of trend in the inflation data. We are still in that nice downtrend. Now, what happens when you introduce this new wild card that we've seen with the Middle East tensions rising? Well, oil prices go up. And we talked about this in yesterday's video, in the live stream, and in the Saturday video, that when you do see oil prices go up, it does limit economic growth, and it also drives inflation to the upside. So if you have a Federal Reserve that is already very worried about this stagflation risk, slowing growth, increasing unemployment, and inflation moving back to the upside, and now you've introduced this new wild card here, I personally do not think that the Fed is going to talk very positively tomorrow. And that that opens the door for, again, some crazy market movements potentially to the downside. Now, it's possible that they just stick to their normal cautious tone. We're going to continue to look at the incoming economic data. Nothing's really changed, yada, yada, yada. But this new wild card is important here. And the most important part about this is that Thursday, we do not have the market being open. The market is closed on Thursday. So typically what you expect to see is the market digests a lot of what the Fed says. Again, kind of in the last hour of trading on the FOMC day, but also in the days following. So if you have a FOMC meeting, no market, and then market Friday, that again is going to introduce a high probability for a gap, up or down. And that is not something that we want to be putting risk into. So again, something that I've been talking a lot about this week to the group is making sure that if you do end up trading anything, sizing for zero is so important. Do not be taking any crazy risks this week, please. So let's see who we got in here, ladies and gentlemen. So far, we got Treetop, Michael, Mike, 101, Eddie. We got Rogue, Steven, Mad Max, Sheila. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How you guys doing? So again, keep smacking that like button on the way in. We're gonna have some fun on this stream. Palantir over here. I mean, it's down a little bit, kind of flat. These are going to be the stocks that, again, are going to be affected a lot by this crazy action that you can see out of the market here. Palantir, Tesla, again, another really strong setup here that we do need to, well, all right. I mean, we got to see this thing kind of hold around the 200 EMA or the 10 EMA here on the daily. That's kind of what we want to see. We want to see it hang around this area here. You still do have this wide range, and again, I would like to get through Powell before, again, we do see that break to the upside here. If it does end up happening right around 335.50 on Tesla, if that happens, I think you get a really, really strong short-term move up back into these highs here, which would be nice to see. It'd be a really awesome one to take advantage of with the group there. Now, what else? Hims on the weekly actually is looking interesting, and it is getting bought up here on the daily, which is nice to see for those of you guys that are invested in this name. If you get a couple more weeks of consolidation on Hims, this could be a really, really solid one going into the summer months here. Will this be one that I really want to look for? No, not really. I mean, we talked about this one down at the 30 to 31 area. I'm going to like it a lot less at the 50s and 60s. Than I do way up at these levels here. So, what else? Sofi, how's this one looking today? You actually have a potential really solid setup forming here on Sofi if you can form a kind of a more condensed period of consolidation here. So I'll be on the lookout for that. That weekly breakout is still intact here, which is nice to see. So we'll see what ends up happening with that one. Any other things that you guys have questions on? Any tickers that you guys want me to talk about? Let me know. I'd love to cover them with you guys here. CLS. What's this one? That looks nice. That looks nice there, Sheila. So yeah, just be careful this week, guys. This is not the week to be going risk on. Not all weeks, not all days in the market are equal. You got to make sure, and this is something that I talk about a lot in the group, is that like it's not hard to nail the multi-hundred and multi-1,000% trades that I hand out to you guys all the time. It's not difficult to do. The difficult part in the market is understanding the times that are like that, what do you call it, are that you don't want to be trading. Mike, we were talking about Datadog all morning on the private stream with the group. I mean, it's really not worth rehashing that one there. We were talking about that one constantly this morning. That's one of the really solid setups there. But it really is all about capital preservation at the end of the day, guys, because it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you're keeping. If you don't keep your gains, you're just going to bounce around like a sine wave in your account and you're never going to go anywhere. So when you guys hear me getting cautious, it's from a frame of we want to make sure that we're able to keep the massive gains that we've made over these last 2 weeks, get into next week where we could see some more positive developments. Again, we do have the trade talks coming out that we do have another UK trade deal that we need to get the details on, which I don't think we have yet. We have the EU trade deal, which is probably going to be by July 7th. We have potentially more information out of China and then maybe some de-escalation news, but we do have to get through the Fed. Circle? What's up with Circle? This is the new one. Is this it right here? Is this the wrong one? CRCO? That looks nice. I mean, I don't really screw around with IPOs like this, but yeah, it looks good. It looks good. Where's the market? Yeah, again, I would expect to see, in general today, a very calm market. The only thing that's really going to move this thing around is obviously going to be craziness with the developments in the Middle East. The market is really going to be bracing for what the FOMC is going to say in their written statement in the Q&A tomorrow. And until then, the market's probably not going to go anywhere. What's going on with Novo? It's just selling off. I mean, guys, it went from 62 to 80 in like 2 weeks. It's just having a little bit of pullback. Next week is really big for this one. There's a big conference coming up, the diabetes conference. They're going to be giving a lot more insight into, all of their different products, side effects, everything. So that's going to be interesting for Novo next week. But yeah, just selling off the highs. I mean, I'm in this one at 62.50. It's not much. I mean, guys, stocks aren't going to just move up in a straight line, you know? It's nice when they do. It's really great when they do. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to see that 82.50 area in order for me to start trimming the options, but they're leaps. I'm just going to leave those there. I like this one over the medium to long term. So we'll see what happens with it. Obviously not fun that it's just getting hit this week, but again, think of the great times that we've had on this thing in the since April. It's been epic. So let it cool off a little bit, see if we can get some more positive news on it, and see if we can get up to that 200 EMA. That's it. Datadog looks great though. We're really getting there on that one. So that would be nice to see. Again, I want these things to break after FOMC because I still, again, like we just talked about, it's going to be very, very, very difficult for me to want to take any significant positions before then. It just doesn't make sense to, you know? Ooh, you guys are going pretty good on the like button over here. Let's see. APPS post-earnings hit for 250%. Garrett, there you go, man. Let's actually take a look at this one. Yeah, there you go. I mean, typically on something like this isn't one that I would do it on. It's like a $5-6 stock. But yeah, the post-earnings strategy is probably the most disgusting strategy that you guys will ever see, and it's the easiest one in the world. Thank you for the insight on the post-earnings. Garrett, no problem, man. Yeah, I mean, guys, you guys know the deal. This is probably the easiest strategy to learn. You literally could just trade the post-earnings moves and be set. That's where the 1,500% Oracle trade came from last week. That was nasty. That was really nasty. But yeah, yields, I mean, they're back up. I'm not the biggest fan of that. Oil is up. People were, again, the oil futures had their rollover yesterday, so it doesn't look like they're up that much, but they are. So this is another interesting thing that you got to pay attention to. And we were talking about this before. Like, guys, having oil up there like this is not going to open up the door for very positive comments from Jerome Powell. It just isn't. It really just isn't. BBAI? No, I don't like this. This is not one for me. Not a ticker that I want to be involved in. Again, I feel like a lot of you guys are going to bring up tickers, especially to today. It's like, guys, please don't let the things that I'm saying go in one year, out the other. Like, I'm like, oh, caution, caution, caution. And then flooded in the live chat. It's like, oh, look at this. And it's like, no. I'm not just saying these things for my health. Like, I'm saying them because that's what I'm doing. Like, I'm not taking on any significant amount of risk this week. It doesn't make sense to. Once we get through, we get some more information on what's going to happen going forward in the Middle East. We get through Powell. We see some more developments with these trade deals. Sure, that's fine. But I'm not going to stick my hand on a hot stove and hope I don't get burned. You know? That does not make any sense. IGV looks good here. This is software. That looks really good. Do you guys see what I'm saying? It's like, be careful. Don't be doing anything crazy. This is not like a game. This is real life here. We're making sure that we're able to set ourselves up for success. It's not just like, oh, maybe take a bet. Nope. Everything that we do, again, we're not just looking for the highest quality setups. We're also looking for the highest quality conditions to be trading in. Microwave chicken sandwiches. I would love some of those, man. Those were good. But yeah, guys, keep smacking that like button on the way in. Costs you nothing to do it. Helps me out a whole lot over here. Let's see. And again, I do these streams every single day for you guys, so make sure you guys turn notifications on for the channel if you guys have not already. But yeah. All right, let's see what we get here. Is there anything new on the feed? I don't think so. German Chancellor Merz tells broadcaster, expect deal with U.S. and tariff dispute before summer's over. So that's new positive developments on the trade side. But like I said in the pre-market plan for you guys today, it's like the market's just going to be focusing on these Middle East tensions and the Fed. That's really it. The trade deals right now this week aren't really going to, unless it's a giant one, but like they're not going to have that much of an effect this week. Sofi looks good. Palantir, where's this one at? I think the New York Times, we gotta look at that. I think the New York Times was saying something else on Palantir today too. They doubled down, which again makes sense because Alex Karp was just out there freaking out. Like, you can't have, if you're gonna do a PR campaign, Alex Karp is not the one to do it. Let's see. OpenAI lands $200 million DoD deal. Wow, that's big. That is very big. Very, very, very big. CLS. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even, I mean, that was a good setup there. I just didn't see it. But yeah, that one's moving up there nicely. Again, let's see what happens with the market here. Software looks hot, though. This is, so looking at the software ETF, IGV, this looks really nasty in a very good way. So software could get hot here. That's kind of why Datadog and Palo Alto over there are looking pretty good. I want to see Novo get back above this daily 10 EMA here. It's going to be tough for that to do today. So I doubt that happens, but we'll see. Oil still pushing higher here. That's not what you want out of the market, especially going into tomorrow. Yields up. That's not great. You know, again, this is just caution time, guys. It's okay. And this is like, we go through periods like this. And something that I say to the group, it's in the course videos, it's like, there are going to be weeks and months where like you make more money than you ever thought was possible out of the market. But what you can't then do is just then have that like expectation that that's going to be every single day and every single week, because that's not what trading or the market actually is. It's not how the market is built. You're looking for high quality setups to execute on them, and high quality setups aren't going to form every single day. So again, going back to what we were talking about before, like understanding that capital preservation is the most important part of your anything that you do in the market is the most important thing. Anybody can come in and nail these multi-hundred and multi-thousand% setups with us. It's not that difficult to do. Once you guys see it, you're like, oh, it's that simple? Yes. The complicated part is understanding when to just take a step back and say, all right, let's relax a little bit, you know? So, but we'll see. I could end up, and here's the other thing too, is that like, let's say that I don't want to say I'm wrong, but like, let's say the market just rips on Powell tomorrow. It just skyrockets. That's fine with me, because you're then getting through a big event. You then have potential de-escalation and then more trade deals coming. What does that mean? More setups for me. So it's like, well, why would I then start to try and gamble on the initial move when I could just wait for the confirmation of all of the moves that are actually going to happen? You know, I'm never in a rush to do anything in the market, ever. Software looks pretty hot here, guys. So you get this IGV breakout, you could easily see Datadog, Palo Alto, maybe Crowd. What does that look like over here? Crowd looks good as well. Yeah, a lot of these software names, guys, look really hot. So if the market catches a bid here at some point over the next 2 weeks, these software names could go nutty. What else is there? CRM is another one, but yeah, that one's not been doing well so far this year. Zscaler, that's a little different, but dude, I haven't had those microwave chicken sandwiches in forever. We don't have, I have like a Trader Joe's. They don't have Purdue chicken cutlets at Trader Joe's. Like, but yeah, again, for those of you guys that still need to hop into the group with us, everybody gets 50% off their first 2 months to the group. It literally only comes out to $1 a day. Remember though, at the end of the month here, we're going waitlist only, so you won't be able to hop in. Maybe I'll open up some spots every now and then on the streams here or in the videos. But yeah, we're going to be closing off to the public, so if you guys want to hop in there with us, make sure you guys do it before the end of June. You guys get a really, really epic discount there too. It's literally only $1 a day. You get access to everything there too. So if you guys have any questions about that, let me know. But really what we're doing today is just being observers of the market, seeing how the market wants to trade with the news that's developing. Bearish on cutlets. Purdue, I think, is publicly traded. I'm pretty sure they are. I know Tyson is. TSN, how's that look? Terrible. Where's AMD actually? Because AMD was having a day. Yeah, dude, look at this beast go. I told you guys, I was looking at this. I saw some of the news coming out about it. It's getting close to the time of the year here where I was looking to sell some, and I'm like, you know, I think I'm just going to keep this. Remember, I own a bunch of AMD at $11.39. That's been one of my best positions ever. And I think this one could continue to have a lot of success here. My cost basis is 0, which is awesome. Lamb? I mean, I'll eat it. It's not really my favorite thing to eat, but I'm pretty simple. you know. But yeah, AMD's looking great here today. I think it hit 130, didn't it? Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. 130 on AMD. That means I have how much of this thing? Let's see. How much AMD do I have right now? Decent chunk. Decent chunk, I will say. At one point on AMD, I had a 6-figure position in it. That was good. That was very nice. Hard 35% profits in a free one. There you go, Josh. That a boy. That was fun. When AMD was up there like that, I was like, oh, this is nice. That was when I was trimming, though. I was like trimming, selling calls against it. DraftKings, I think it looks good. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, is it this right here? 38.19 is what I would look for on this thing. Because then you're fully clearing that 200 EMA area there. That I like. VRT? No. Not a fan of this. Not one that I want to buy. Not a great candle today. Not a great setup. Not for me, like. Not for me on that one. Let's see. Oh my God, we're halfway to the 50 like threshold already. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Keep smacking that on the way in. Share it with a friend. Share it in the groups that you're in here. Let's do it, man. We're gonna have some fun. I'll probably have another YouTube video for you guys today. Sorry the one yesterday came out a little later in the evening. I had a million things I had to do yesterday. But usually they come out at 4 p.m. That's usually when I do them. Market not doing anything here, which is to be expected going into Powell. Oh, here's the other thing that I want to talk about with you guys. This is Chancellor Merz tells broadcasters EDF, if Iran does not back down, complete destruction of Iranian nuclear program is on the agenda, which Israel cannot achieve alone. Oh boy, that's amazing. Great. All right, so here's what we got to talk about here. You can have like whatever opinions that you want on the Middle East conflict. That's fine. Think however you want to, based on the information that you have. But there's a certain situation that is going to start unfolding that is going to be reality and indisputable. This is a hot topic issue in which people have very strong opinions on either side, whether or not the U.S. should get involved, not get involved, which side, everything. Okay? What you also have to think about is that in about a year, midterms are really going to start heating up. Now, the left in the United States is most likely not going to want to get involved in any sense in this war. They are typically going to be anti-war. The right is typically more all right with like getting involved in a lot of these conflicts here, but over the last kind of year and a half, 2 years, you've seen a pretty big shift in the right on just kind of on people's feelings about getting involved in a lot of these conflicts, whether it be Russia, Ukraine, whether it be Israel, Palestine, Iran, any of those. But you're seeing a shift. The problem then becomes is that if the United States, if we do not see any significant de-escalation efforts from the Trump administration, he loses a significant portion of his base. Now, no matter what you want to think about these situations, remember, I think you guys kind of understand here, I'm pretty down the middle when we talk about these things, and I'm looking at it from how it's going to affect the market moving forward. If this goes poorly and the Republicans lose their base, we were already kind of on shaky footing with what was going to happen with the growth agenda moving forward after these tariffs. And if that happens, it's going to be very difficult for a lot of these growth initiatives to happen if they completely get landslided in the midterms. That's what I want everybody to start thinking about here. It's yes, the conflict is happening. Everybody's going to be thinking short term about this, but you also have to think about the next 3 years and say, okay, if this happens and the base starts to kind of fade away and say, I don't really like any of these things, and a lot of these other people are going to kind of come out in support, and you see that divide, that's a problem for the economy moving forward, just in terms of the new growth initiatives that they want to accomplish. It's going to be a lot harder for them to get those through, okay? That's what I want everybody to start thinking about. Like, yes, We can talk about the conflict and like how it's going to affect oil, inflation, everything in the short term, but that's the thing that nobody's talking about yet that I want everybody to start thinking about. It's just looking at the board and seeing where the pieces could move. It's very simple. So that's what I'm thinking about right now. It's like, well, if we don't see these de-escalation efforts, I'd kiss the midterms goodbye. I really would, like, for the current administration. Tesla down today? Yeah, it is, but it's still within the range that's fine with us for looking at this for a potential bullish setup here, depending on what happens going into the end of this week. Am I still looking at Datadog? Yeah, of course I am. Hasn't hit the alert yet. If it does, I might take some, but I might just leave this one alone. This would be one that I'd be fine. I'd want to get longer dated on this one. If you guys aren't in the group and you don't fully understand everything that I'm looking at here, don't touch any of these that we talk about that people are bringing up. Just don't. Every single time you put your money into anything in the market, whether it's a short-term trade, whether it's an investment, I want you to fully understand everything about it. Why you're entering, how you're going to manage it, where you're in it, when you're going to, what do you call it? When and how you're going to exit. That's the most important part, guys. It's not following around doing all that nonsense that all these other people do, where it's like, just listen to me. No. My whole goal is to make you guys self-sufficient in the market. That's why I'm here doing this with you guys. So don't just like willy-nilly do stuff, because you're gonna get yourself into trouble if you haven't been through the curriculum videos and understand and been able to ask me these types of questions. But yes, I'm still looking at Datadog. Palo looks great too. But yeah, if you guys want to hop into the group, get the 50% off your first 2 months discount. Use code June. The link is at the top of the live chat for you guys. If you guys are interested, make sure you do that before the end of the month, because we are going to be going waitlist only. You won't be able to hop back in. Date a dog? No. AMD back down. That's fine. I love where this is. Where's Facebook today too? Because this one's another interesting one. Yeah, it's flat. This is a really interesting one that I'm looking at here too. I think Facebook is now my #1 holding. I think. I'm never going to call it Meta. Sorry. I just am not. It's Facebook. That's what they are. Yeah. Wow, you guys are crushing the like button today. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Remember, I'm going to do these streams for you guys every day at 10:30. Friday's the only different day, but it's good for you guys. You guys get more of it. At 9:15, we'll probably go to like 11:30. Tomorrow is going to be an interesting streaming schedule day. Probably not going to do a YouTube video tomorrow, but what we will do, I'll do one on Thursday for you guys, recapping FOMC, but we're going to have the private stream with the Discord in the morning. We're going to have this stream leading up into Powell, and then we're going to be back live at like probably 1:30, 1:45 for the FOMC meeting. So that'll be what the schedule looks like for tomorrow, just so that you guys know, because it's a weird day. What are yields doing? They're just kind of hanging out in here at the zone. Again, there's not really anything out there for me to make a big call on yields yet either. Like, you guys that have been around here for long enough, the last 2 times that I have taken a stance on the bond market has been within a day of the top or bottom. I was, let's say 2 days off here. This was the last time. That was right before the FOMC meeting. That was the first interest rate cut. That one was easy. This one was pretty good too. But now it's like it all has to do with the way I look at the bond market to make those calls is just overpricing. This kid has got the gift. He's worth the cost of one small trade. Nicky Ricky. I appreciate that, man. But it's like when you look at it's like very similar to how like we just talked about everything like going on leading into the midterms. It's like when you look at the whole board and you look at all of the economic data and then you look at what the market's actually projecting, sometimes they get way out of hand. Like back in here, they were projecting like 7 rate cuts or more going into like the end of 2025. And in order for yields to continue lower and which is the bond market continuing higher, you needed to then have data come out and Fed guidance come out that is going to basically guide towards more rate cuts, which just didn't seem likely. So that was the call here. This one was basically the exact same thing on the other side, where they cooked it the other way, where they were like, oh, we might even get a hike. No. But right now, what is the overall market projecting? 2 rate cuts this year. That's fine. Like, that's right in the line of what we would expect to happen. So I wouldn't be really, looking at anything on the bond side right now. If we do, though, I'll tell you guys this too. Don't trade TLT. TLT is kind of broken. If you guys trade futures, ZB is good. There's 10Y, which is good too, which the margin requirements on that one are lower for those of you guys that have smaller accounts. So 10Y is good. You're just trading the opposite. You're trading the actual like yield chart. So remember that USD JPY trade I had, which was technically I think it was just a long on the yen is effectively what it ended up being. Or a short on the yen? I think it was long yen was what it ended up being. Hit that like button, boys and girls. Thank you, Daily Taylor. I appreciate it. Yeah, Palo looks really good here. Breaking above this high would be very important on this one. It looks like it wants it. Datadog getting up there too. I don't really want to take on new positions though, so we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Tessie is still valid here. The only reason, guys, why I'm saying Tesla's still valid if we are getting these close and these choppy moves around the daily 10 EMA is because of the volatility that this thing has already witnessed. When you see a lot of this volatility, it's going to respect the moving averages a little bit less because it's yanking the moving averages all over the place anyway. So they're going to be less strong. So in this case here, like depending on what happens with Powell, we definitely could see this thing chop around a little bit and then break to the upside, get this move back into the highs here at 367, which would be awesome. But again, if it doesn't end up, there's Palo. If it doesn't end up setting up for us and it doesn't end up going, that's fine. We just don't touch it. Another good example of this, like I was looking at end phase this week. This was a really strong setup here forming on this chart. Never broke to the upside and you gap down pretty significantly. Nothing gained, nothing lost. We just don't look at it anymore. Very simple. Once you guys see how simple like what I do actually is, you'll start to realize why like everybody's able to have so much success in there with us. Like you'd be like, oh wait, really? Yeah, it's that simple. Don't overcomplicate the market, guys. It's not that difficult. Palo looks good. Datadog looks good. Again, though, looking at IGV, just the tech software sector in general, this looks filthy. Palo looks to be the leader right now, which is good. That's a great breakout there if it holds. Really, really strong. But again, if you decide to touch anything this week, guys, especially for those of you guys in the group, very, very, very small size. Small size trades. Baby bites. Market's pushing up here. We're getting news on this? Hold on here, team. We getting some news? Starmer says, I have no doubt that Trump will stay out of the Israel-Iran conflict. You see how the market's moving up on that, guys? Just like we were talking about before, the market in general is going to want the U.S. to stay out of the conflict. Why? Because if they don't, kiss the midterms goodbye. Even right now, it's going to be, what do you call it? The midterms, again, like somebody said in the live chat, they do tend to flip. But if the U.S. gets involved, goodbye. That's it for the midterms. Datadog is really close here. I really love this setup. I don't know. Maybe I could just small size it with time on it if it hits. I do have a baby, like really small, almost negligible position in Palo, but like it's not even like. Where's UNH? You guys love talking about this one. I do not want UNH. No thank you. IGV back green. You know, like, I almost don't want Datadog to break out because I want it. Military spending could hit the budget too. Well, that's bullish. I mean, that's government spending. That gets right into GDP. So you do see increased growth in that sense. But what happens to the bond market? Like, think about that. Like, what happens to the bond market in that sense? It just rips. Or yields rip. Bonds tank on that. For those of you guys that don't understand why, it's like, well, increased government spending leads to increased levels of debt, which leads to new issuance, new supply in the bond market, and then everybody expects yields to be higher. So then they sell. Sell bonds. Yeah, you get a couple days here on Facebook, we could be looking really, really, really good on that. What else have we been kind of taking a look at here? Where's Sofi right now, actually? How's that doing? It's down today. Hims, I think, was getting bought up nicely. Yeah, Hims is looking good. Nicky Ricky, congratulations, buddy. Yeah, ooh, 15 likes away from 50. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Pretty soon, I think we're going to be at a 100 like threshold on the stream. We'll just keep moving it up. I'm going to move the goalposts on you guys, but in a good way. Because then we can spread this type of info out to more people. Like, people are just like, the whole reason, guys, why I started this YouTube channel in the first place, like many years ago, was because I just thought that the people that were talking about the market just weren't giving good insights to people, weren't helping anybody. The videos just were nonsense. And Datadog's about to hit here. Let me look at the chain. Let me look. I don't want to do anything before Powell, man. I really don't. They might force my hand here, though. I could always hedge it, but do I really want to do that? No. I don't. I could go small. These are juiced. These are a little juiced. I mean, they're fine, but they're a little juiced. There it is. Resist the temptation. Let's see. It just looks dirty. Like, in the best way possible. It's such a good looking chart. Palo looks good too. XRP? It's just another crypto, man. I mean, we can take a look at it. I mean, you're bouncing off the 200. I mean, this is not a bad risk reward spot to be getting long this. The weekly looks kind of icky, but what I will say is the Bitcoin chart, Alfie brought this up yesterday. Bitcoin on the weekly looks really good. Down today, but like just in general here on the weekly, you get a break of Bitcoin at 110.5 right here, 110,500. You could get a really nice move, which would then benefit something like an XRP. It's just another crate. It's going to move with the broad market. I think the argument that people try to make about like it replacing Swift, I think is a bit silly, because I just don't think that that's reasonable to expect. I think that's just retail trader hype. Like, if the banks are going to transition to anything, it's going to be some sort of like government-backed stablecoin, you know? I don't think it's going to be like an XRP. I think they'll get involved. But like when people say like, oh, they're going to get all of Swift and it's going to be at 10,000, I think that's a really silly thing to say, you know? But I still think I could perform well. Again, it's just another crypto. If the crypto market does well, it's going to do well. Yeah, market's starting to push here a little bit. That's interesting. I want to see what Tessie's doing in a second here. It's the weekly. I don't want the weekly on Tessie. Yeah, ideally I'd like to see it close above this 10 EMA here, but like I'm not putting that much weight on it, you know? Yeah, I am a little weirded out with Powell tomorrow. It's just, I think it's going to get a little funky. I don't think he's going to say anything good, but also you have to think about this too. Does the market just understand that he's not going to say anything good? Like, is this priced in? And that's kind of where I'm like, caution. Caution, caution, caution. You know? Just be careful. You've been warned. There is the potential for really big craziness to happen tomorrow. Please be careful. Let's see here. Give me 1 sec, guys. I just gotta grab something. All right, we're back. We're back. Mo, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Yeah, market's pushing here nicely. Let's see. I mean, maybe Datadog and Palo get some steam today. I mean, if the market starts breaking out and gets back to these highs here, I mean, you could see Palo get a little spicy here, and then that would be the goal, to be able to make something like that free going into tomorrow, which isn't out of the question. It could happen. Like, you get a nice burst on this thing, like, I could be able to just make a free position on it and then just not care. Which means, for those of you guys that are new, if it goes up over 100%, I can sell my half of the, more than 100%, I can sell half of the position, get my initial investment back, and just have the profits in the trade, which would be fine with me. Who knows, though? They're size for 0 anyway. I'm perfectly fine with letting them do their thing. Yields moving down. Yeah, you break this high here, you could see some action here. Plus, like, later on today, you could see some more like de-escalation headlines like we just saw from Starmer. I have no doubt that Trump will stay out of the Israel-Iran conflict, is the statement that was made by him. Ooh, I think there's some Boeing news over here. Recent 787 inspection shows no major safety risks for Boeing. Associated maintenance systems found to be compliant with existing safety standards. Well, that's good for them. Will I buy Boeing? No. No, thank you. Not going to be buying Boeing anytime soon. It was good at the lows. It was definitely a good move at the lows there. Yeah, we have, like, these are the times in the market, like, when we have a lot of good opportunity out there with, like, really solid looking setups, but then we have, like, a Powell or something where it's like, you gotta trade it with caution. You gotta be careful. Mo, yeah, it's very crazy out there. Well, let's see if the market can get through this high. There's Dell. That's another one that we were talking about this morning. I'm not taking any more positions, though. There's ES through the high. That was a little burst. Did we get some news there? Not that I've seen. Yeah, I haven't seen anything yet. It'd be real nice to get another 1,500% trade this week. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it, man? That was great on Oracle last week with you guys. Congratulations to everybody that hit that one. Also, another big shout out to one of you guys in the group, Jackie, holding those CVS. Ryan hit it too, but Jackie's are the ones that I've seen. 321% on CVS there. That's epic. Good, really, really great moves. Just looking at this CVS chart here too. Just look at how textbook this was. I outlined this for you guys on the break of like 64.50. You got that really nice push into this level right here, this 68.54, which is basically the high. There you go. You're welcome. Easy money there, man. Once you guys see how simple this is, you're gonna be like, why wasn't I doing this all along? And I go, I know, it works. It's very solid. Let's see. Palo back down. Datadog kind of holding on here, but we'll see. Market just got whacked a little. But I would expect this thing to just chop around in these ranges today, leading into Powell, and then especially with all the uncertainty that we have. What the heck is... What? What is that? Dude, I just scroll around Twitter sometimes. You just see some weird things. You're like, what? All right. What's this coming? No, that's nothing. Yeah, great. I mean, you basically got the top tick there on CVS at the level that I outlined for you, 68.50. Good afternoon from the UK. What's up, Reese? How you doing, man? What else we got here? Where'd Dell end up going? I mean, that looks real good too, guys. Like, everything that's on the watch list is just firing. You just have to be very careful. Like, we have a lot going on this week. So if you want it, it's there. Just, again, make sure you're heeding the warnings. It is very, very risky to be taking full-size positions this week. This is size for zero territory. You want to keep it tight. Do not do anything crazy, please. Oh, it's Tuesday today too. I love Tuesdays. Yeah, you just kind of basically just broke that level here and then just sold right back off on it. I mean, this was 12 hours ago, but like Israel's ambassador to Washington expect a surprise this week regarding the attack on Iran. I'd rather not, man. I'd rather not be surprised. I'd rather everybody just stop doing this. VRSN. Yeah, I can take a look. It's probably not something that I would typically trade. It's not a bad set. This is going to look better on the weekly. See? This looks great on the weekly. So your weekly break, you could say, is like 285.50, right around there. So that looks good. Is this something that I would typically trade, though? No. Like Christopher, it's like being able to identify the setup is step one, which is good. Knowing which ones that you want to be in is step two. That's where you really start to, like, it looks good. Like, don't get me wrong, but like, remember, like, you'll see me do this all the time where it's like, just because a setup looks good doesn't mean that I'm going to trade it. Like, if I were to trade options on this, the chain is probably busted. It probably doesn't even, like, really exist. And then the shares trade, it's like, you could get a decent risk to reward on it, but like, you'd probably have to almost full port it to get the proper risk to reward, and then you're just tying up capital in something that may not be the best idea. Like, I'm going to stick to things that we know can move significantly in short periods of time, which this one could, but I'll typically be sticking to things that, like, we know can go, like a Tesla or a Datadog or something like that, you know? So Datadog looks great here. You understand? Yeah, no problem. No problem. But like sometimes like I'll see tickers and people are like, do you like it? I'm like, it's a good setup. I'm not touching it though. Like DocuSign's a good one. I just probably won't ever trade that one. It's a weird one. Like it just moves strangely. Tessie's not looking so hot here. Not looking so hot on Tessie. So, I don't know. I mean, if it breaks to the upside here, I'll take it. But if not, I'm just sitting here watching this one, seeing what it wants to do. It's still in the range, which is fine. With all that volatility, I'm okay with, like, continuing to watch this one. But, like, this is not one of the higher quality setups that we could be looking for. Novo shopping? Yeah, I know. You guys know. Guys, I'm still wildly green on it. Like... I own it at 62.50. They have a big event next week. They got a weird downgrade for no reason. It's like it's gonna happen. Stocks just don't go up vertically. Well, it did, but they don't just like it's due for a pullback. Fine. I'm not worried. You guys will see too. Like I don't ever freak out about any positions ever. Like where I own Novo, if it were to drop back down here somehow, I'd buy a crap load more. Just saying. Because the thesis is not invalidated at all. Like this is the other way to look at this too. Like when I'm looking at mid to long term like investments, it's all thesis driven with the entries based on the chart and then also macro. So like if the thesis doesn't change on it and it's just short term volatility, it's like, and they give me another gift, I'll slam it. I'm not going to be buying it here, but, I mean, if it somehow were to trade back down to, I mean, maybe 69, but I doubt that. You know? Dude, software's hot. We got Datadog pushing. We got Palo pushing. All of these look good today. Right, and you guys saw the research report on it, too. It's like if you go through the things that I talked about in the report, it's like, well, what has actually changed about that one? Nothing. Okay. JP Morgan wanted to downgrade it. Good for them. The target is still 101. Like, it's fine with me. Do I wish my options were up where they were? Yeah. But, like, guys, there's a lot of other good trades out there for us. And they're still nicely green. All right, Palo's making a little attempt here at these new highs, so is Datadog. Both of those are looking good. Okay, so here's the other thing that you guys can do too, that we talk a little bit about sometimes, but for those of you guys that are new to the group, if you want to focus in on where to look for tickers, like I will look at everything just because like I like seeing every single sector and things like that. But if you want to get a really good understanding of like which sectors are hot and narrow down your focus in addition to what I give you guys every single week, look at the sector ETFs. Like if you see something like this, like IGV, this is the software ETF. Really bullish chart, really, really solid setup here. If this was an individual stock, we'd probably be looking to take longs on this thing. But we wouldn't because it's an ETF. So what would we be actually looking for? Well, the names within this sector ETF. So like this, healthcare sometimes. I like the specific ones, like tech software ETF. Like those are, when you can narrow them down like that, ooh, you can find some really good setups, which if this is just from years of experience, like when I see things like Datadog, Palo Alto, and everything looking really good, well, I already know that IGV is going to look good too. But I'm just looking at everything in total, so I'll just see things, be like, oh, this sector's probably hot, and then I'll narrow it down a little bit more from there. But Datadog looks good, even with the market moving down here. It's great. This thing can go anywhere though. Like these are all size for 0. I'm not going crazy with these. Like this week, guys, like I've talked about a lot in this stream, in the videos, in the private stream, is like be very cautious this week. So again, for those of you guys that want to hop in there with us, that want the just a little bit about what you guys get in there. First, I mean, everybody gets their first 2 months for 50% off with code June with the link I just threw in the live chat there. But you get both the full-length educational courses. You get the private live streams every single day, the pre-market plans, the full watch list of stocks and cryptos that are about to explode before they do. Crypto right now, there hasn't really been much opportunity that I've seen, so it's like I haven't really focused in on that one. I look and scan through, but if there's not opportunity there, there's just not going to be stuff. The equity market's been pretty hot, though. Then, what else? The macro research reports, single stock research reports, what else? The weekly market research reports that I give you guys, kind of getting you guys ready for the next week. There's a lot in there. So, no bueno. Dude, Datadog's a monster right now. That's nice. I wish I had more. Just kidding. Got to keep everything in line here. I mean, I'm still up 85% on my Novo calls. I could make them free if I want to. I just don't want to. So, again, use code June if you guys want to hop in there with us. Make sure you do it before the end of the month, though, because after June, it's waitlist only. I might open up some spots during the stream some days or in the videos, but going to be closing off to the public. The people that I want in there, even though it's very, inexpensive, my group, I still only want the most serious people in there. Like, if you really want to come in and learn how to operate in the market, that's what this is for. Enphase got killed? Yeah, dude. Enphase got hammered off of that stuff. Down 23%. But that's why, again, like I tell you guys, if you, like, this was where the alert was. 46.93. Did it hit? Nope. So you just don't touch it. Nothing gained, nothing lost. It was a potential setup that they had terrible news on and then just got railed. Yeah, Datadog and Palo looking great here. Novo, not having fun today. Or yesterday. Yeah, Datadog still cruising here, guys. This thing looks good. What am I up on these? I mean, I got July's, so they're not going to move that much, but they're up 27%, which is a good start on it. That is a good start. Ooh, we are 10 likes away from 50 on the stream. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Keep smacking that like button on the way in. Costs you nothing to do. It helps me out a whole lot. Let's see. I want to see Palo get going a little there. Market's not having fun. But this is, again, like I've said, this is to be expected on a day like today where there's a lot of, like, uncertainty going into tomorrow with Powell, and then also the Middle East tensions, which are heating up. You got July 135s? That's probably what I got, too. Nah, I got the 140s. My Sofi holder? Yep. I own it at 655. That was one of the, what do you call it? Stocks that I gave out to the group back last year, last July. So my average on it 655. Looks awesome. What else did I give out? Palantir in the 15s, Philip Morris at 95, Robinhood in the teens. What else? Yin at 20. Novo at 62. There's probably more, honestly. I give you guys a lot of gems. A lot of good names. Yeah, I like that one a lot. That's not good. They'd have to buy this up really quickly here for this market to continue. This is not looking too hot. Yeah, 655. That was a really good purchase. I wanted more, so I'll show you where the day that or right around the 2 days that I bought it and what I was looking for. So this is what I was talking about with the group. I bought it here. I think it was on this day, July 10th or 11th, right around here. And what I wanted to see was a big gap down on earnings below 6 so I could keep buying it. You know where it went? 603. No, yen, I'm not touching yen anymore. Where is it right now? 40. This is my yen trade. Bought it here, right around 20. Sold half of it up here, and then I sold the rest of it here at 32. So I don't have any more yen. That was a great one though. That was me taking the AMD covered call money and then some more, throwing it into yen down here. The long China thesis was such a no-brainer. That was an easy one. So this was fun. Wrote it up here, sold it up here. Then I was like, I don't really want any more this year, just with all the craziness that was happening just everywhere with the trade talks and everything. So I sold the rest of it at like 32. Chime having a high stock price. Valuation, not price, but yes. Honestly, I don't care. Honestly, Kenny. It is interesting to like gauge the appetite for fintech in the market, but at the end of the day, SoFi is kind of its own beast, and if they continue to hit their goals that they keep laying out, eventually the market's gonna love it. So, like, yeah, we can talk about it. We like, oh yeah, this, that, and the, I know that's something hot that people have been talking about in the media, but I just quite honestly don't really care. Like a lot of the time when I do a lot of the research, it's like I'll look at competitors sometimes to see competitive positioning in a market. But if you're gonna go with the winner anyway, in my opinion, it's like I don't really care what the competitor does, right? Like I'd rather focus in on like, okay, what are these crypto offerings gonna be able to generate? Are they gonna be able to hit these user growth numbers? Like things like that, you know? Palo new highs. That's good. Datadog looking good too. I mean, over 202, you could easily see 204 today if the market kind of behaves, which it doesn't want to right here. This is not an area that you want to be breaking down below. But these have some significant relative strength today, especially with IGV flat. Oh, that's big time. That is big time. 4 likes away from 50. Thank you, guys. Who's going to be the lucky number 50? Let's see. Who's it going to be? Yields are all right. Where's oil? It's not great. It's not great. Tomorrow's going to be weird. Tomorrow is going to be very, very, very strange, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you right now. The stream tomorrow, so I will stream Powell for you guys, so that'll be fun. We'll get a lot of people in here for that. But, again, it's like I'll be breaking that down for you guys. I'll probably do the video recapping everything on Thursday because you guys are going to see a lot of me tomorrow. We're going to do this stream tomorrow, then we're going to do the Powell stream. So we're going to have a lot going on tomorrow. Where did Dell end up going? Because that one was looking really good. It's just kind of chilling right around that entry area. I'm going to just hold Palo and Datadog and just see what happens. Very small size. If those go to 0, I don't care. If they rip, though, I mean, that's the name of the game this week, is putting yourself in the position that if there's good setups like we are seeing, again, the way that we trade, guys, can turn very small amounts of money into very large amounts of money very fast. But again, you also have the risk on the other side, too, on these gaps. And this is a week where you could see a significant amount of gaps in either direction. So you got to be careful. This is not like a last week trading week where things can just go crazy and we're just like every single thing I give you guys just prints, which like it is now, but you still have to have that in the back of your mind. Like, okay, relax a little bit. Be a little bit cautious in this environment. I want to see Palo over 202. That'd be sweet. It would need some help with the market here. And let me see if there's anything on the news feed that's been coming through that I've missed. I don't think there is. No. Oh, this is it. News, Wyden, Ocasio-Cortez demand answers from Palantir about plans to build IRS mega database of American citizens. I told you. I told you guys. Sentiment. It's not going to affect their ability to generate revenues, but having sentiment shift the way it is towards Palantir right now is not a bullish development. You know? Because it's not about, like you see these people on the internet right now, especially Twitter, that are calling everybody stupid. They're like, these people are dumb. They don't understand Palantir. And it's like, right, they don't understand it. So you have to have somebody like Alex Karp, which shouldn't be him, but somebody out there that's going to be able to explain this in a way where people can understand it. Them coming out and just saying, go read about Foundry. Dude, you really think some dude on TikTok is just going to go read about that? No. Are they going to even if they do, are they going to understand it? No. You're not talking to investors or market participants or anybody that has any analytical or technical capability. You're talking to, I hate to say it this way, but normies, normal people, just everyday people that don't watch this stuff the way that we do. You have to understand your audience when you're doing these things. My Palos are up 50%. That's good. My Datadogs are up 30. So, I mean, this is technically TP1 on Palo Alto, 204.34. So it's from this right here. So if that hits today, that'd be phenomenal. That'd be aggressive. But does that make sense to everybody? Why I'm talking about it that way? It's like you can't just how does people on the internet calling other people dumb actually get your point across to okay, if you think that they're not actually going to be spying on people, explain it. Explain to people the security measures. Because right now all I see is big memes on the internet about Palantir and it's not positive. Is it going to affect their revenues? I mean, probably not, but it's definitely not a positive development. So I hope that makes sense. Market pushing up here a little bit. Let's see. Maybe this launches our software stocks here a little bit. That'd be nice. Nope. I'm expecting this to just be a slow week in general. I'm not planning on doing a whole lot. I mean, if we do see some crazy de-escalation or something, I mean, yeah, it'll be fun. But other than that, I'm just really looking towards what we could do next week. Versus this week, because again, no market Thursday. We have Powell. There's a lot of moving parts here that we have to account for. What age did I start? 14. Well, not investing, but I started learning about markets when I was 14. I'm 26 now. I know I don't look 26, but I am. I'm not showing you guys my birth certificate either. But I am 26. And some movement down here. It's not great. It's not great. We'll see, though. Everything's going to be super volatile. In the ranges. It's not going to... I would not expect the market to just start sending up or down today, in any crazy... Unless you see, oh, it's over in the Middle East. In a positive way, not an it's so over kind of way. Alexa's in their homes? Right. You're getting spied on anyway. I'm not trying to make the argument either way for Palantir, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to be oh, they do or do not. They do have the data, but they do have security measures in place to not be. But the whole point of giving the data and analyzing it to the government is so that again they could do it. So technically they're complicit. But what I am saying is that if you don't want people to think that, you have to explain it to them. Because then it's just going to be negative sentiment over and over and over and over and over again. When you have the public flip on a company, remember what happened during the risk is you see Remember all the go woke, go broke, Budweiser, Target. You had everybody scared of flying on a Boeing plane. Like, what did that do to equity prices? Like, yeah, those specific instances like did have an effect on their ability to generate revenues. But what's to say like things start like other things start don't go like you don't see any more crazy developments with Palantir here, you know? Because they've just been able to operate, do what they want to do with their commercial side and government side forever. Nobody's really cared. Like, I make the joke all the time, like, oh, when I sold it, the CIA is going to come knock at my door. Haha. Like, you know? Ooh, 1 like away from 50. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. All you got to do, you just got to click the button. That's it. Makes it easier to find the streams, too, when you guys are back, if you guys miss them, and the videos. Yeah. Palette still looks good. Datadog still looks good. I'm fine with holding these for now. Nothing else crazy on the news feed. Too good to be true. When's it going to blow? Again, it's not one that you short here, but it's definitely not one that you long, in my opinion. So I sold it at 71. I was like, dude, I just like, it doesn't, like that's a scenario in which things start to make a lot less sense. But like from 15 to 71, those are some great gains. Remember, I also didn't own enough of it. I kept trying to sell puts on it, and it would look like I was going to get more shares, and then I wasn't. I did that at like 14.50. I did it at 22. Like there were a lot of instances where I did that, where I should have just bought it, which is where the joke comes from. If I start selling puts on things, you probably should just buy them. Like Robinhood was the most recent example where I should have just bought that one at like 30. I was selling the puts at when the stock was at 31 for the 28 strike. And it was just from a trading perspective, that was free money. I'll take that all day long. It was 10% monthly return. I was like, yeah, dude, all day long, I will take that. After the sell-off that it had. But in terms of like a longer term investment horizon, like that would have been one to buy. Let's see. We're getting some news here. Iran launches new wave of missiles against Israel. Apparently that's bullish. Dude. Oh, man. Here's a comment. I don't like this. JD Vance says Trump might act to stop Iran's nuclear program. Trump may decide to take further action to end Iran enrichment, though he didn't specify what that might involve. He acknowledged concerns about foreign entanglements. Okay, fair. But argued that Trump has earned trust by focusing on protecting American troops and interests. Okay, I like that. That's probably what the market is moving up on a little bit there. I think any time that you see a headline come through that's going to suggest that the U.S. is not going to get involved like full-blown militarily, the market is going to view that as a very positive development. Mainly based on what I tweeted yesterday and what we had talked about today with the midterms and their growth initiative. And I think they're smart enough to realize that if they do get involved, their base is not going to like that at all. So like I think like I see kind of everything, guys, and I try to like make sure that like you have a good understanding of like sometimes it's not useful. Like sometimes the stuff that I'll see and just keep in the back of my mind is not useful. This one is. Do you guys remember? I forget what time this was, but there was a trending hashtag on X that was no war with Iran, and it was blowing up. Like it was. That's probably a bad choice of words. But it was like, it was a trending hashtag for a week. No war with Iran, I think was the hashtag. So if you do, again, and just thinking about that from the perspective that we saw earlier, there are a lot of people out there that might have voted for them in the past that are now not going. That in the midterms will be like, if they do get involved, they're going to say no. So what does that do for like the growth initiative moving forward? Well, it makes it a lot harder for them. This is not like, that's the perspective that I'm looking at it from, is what does that actually do to the ability for this current administration to drive growth in the United States? Does it make it easier or harder? That's the question. Well, it probably makes it harder. That's why the markets won't like that. And also the short-term effects of oil moving up, inflation, and all of the things, other things that we've talked about. This isn't like me talking about like my political opinions. This is just like, okay, let's look at the board and see if this happens, then what happens, you know? Which some people are probably like, why are you saying that? It's like, no, you have to understand these things. Like everything is always connected in the market. Dell. The daily looked really good. We talked about that one this morning. He had a nice breakout there. I bet the weekly looks good too on it. Yeah, weekly looks even better. That looks really good. Yeah, I mean, I would go break even here. 122.37 first T. Well, let's see what the risk to reward is. I mean, it's probably not a lot. It's probably not all that much. Yeah, 1 to 1.44 on the weekly if you traded the actual weekly breakout. But if you look at the daily, you get it a little tighter. Like I would go stop below the daily low on that. Then the risk reward gets a little better. 1 to 2 at least. That's not that bad. Palo sold off a little bit there, just kind of calming down, but you got Datadog looking epic. But yeah, make sure you guys hop into the group before the end of the month if you guys are interested. I mean, just go click on it, read the reviews. It's very, very highly reviewed for a reason, guys. Lockheed gonna rise? Have they actually? Well, also, remember what I have too? I have this. I own a lot of this, XAR. I've owned this forever. I will never sell this. So this is a good example of just like thinking just like logically. Do I want war to happen? No. Do I know it's going to continue to happen? Yes. Okay. So this is going to be something that I continue to hold. You know? That's actually a perfect example of it. Like that actually might be my largest like random ETF holding in here. Like look at this thing over the years. Boom. Just look at this. Just boom. Vertical here. Does that make sense? It's like it's just looking at the board and saying, okay, what is actually like taking your like own opinions and what you want to happen out of the equation? Where does it then make the most sense to allocate capital? Well, this is one of them. People are always going to be going to war. You know? Sad to say, but like it's the truth. Like that's just going to continue to happen. This is to be expected today too. I would expect the market to just kind of do this all day, chop around. Ooh, we hit 50 likes. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Pretty soon we're going to be doing a 100 like threshold. Very soon, I think. You know what I could do? Thinking about something here. I'm thinking about just cutting all open positions, like short-term ones, and just going all cash into Powell, taking the small gains and then just running. I'm thinking about it. I don't know. We'll see. They are size for zero. I'd be fine with it. I'm just a little worried about Powell and everything coming up, so. They all look good. They're up nicely so far, so. We'll see. We will see. But all right, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up here for today. There's probably not much else that's gonna be happening. Again, I'll probably have a YouTube video out for you guys this evening, so make sure you guys are ready for that. Have notifications on. And for those of you guys that are hopping into the group, I'll send that link to you guys in the live chat right now. Use code June. Make sure you use that code so that you don't pay full price. Get 50% off your first 2 months. It's literally only $1 a day to hop in, guys. I mean, you guys have seen the trades that I've handed out for everybody over the last couple of weeks here. I mean, there was that 800% Zscaler, 700% Dollar General, 1500% Oracle, what else? 300% CVS. Pfizer was another epic one. What was the Hershey's was another epic one. There's a lot out there. Plus, you get the market open streams and everything else that's included in there. So, welcome to all the new members. We'll see you guys in there. First things first, make sure you go through all those educational course curriculum videos. That's going to get you guys up to speed, this is a really good week to do that too. Just so that, again, there's not going to be a whole lot going on. Anything that we do is going to be size for zero anyway. Come back next week and really, really start getting back after it, depending on what happens. So, guys, have a great rest of your day. I will see you guys in the YouTube video later.